You're listening to ESOPOD, the Foliance ESOP podcast. Hello, everyone. Welcome to ESOPOD, the Foliance ESOP podcast. I am Shawn Hoy from Shared Services IT and the ESOP communication team. And I'm joined today by Todd Bransky. He's already been on the show, so you guys probably know him. How's it going?
Hey, Shawn, good. Well, I asked if I could come back on the show and not to be interviewed, but to be the interviewer. I'd like to interview you today because you are the 2025 Iowa, Nebraska chapter of the ESOP Association winner of the Employee Owner of the Year. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, you can probably see it right there.
Oh, I do see it, yeah. So what that means is that we nominated you to the ESOP Association, to our chapter. We wrote up a nomination of all the things you do to contribute to being an employee owner, and they loved what they heard about you. And there were 5 finalists in the end, and they were all fantastic employee owners. And I knew one of them personally, and I know what she does for her company. And, you know, I was so thrilled to find out that they selected you because I think you deserve it. And thank you for all you do.
Yeah, thank you. It was cool. I think a large part of it is your masterful submission writing. I know you also did the writing for the Foliance when we won the company of the year a couple of years ago. So I think you're very good at writing submissions.
But somebody has to do the work. I mean, yeah, I wrote it up, but you're putting in the work, you're putting in the time, and you're doing a great job, and we appreciate it. So, first of all, I'd like you to tell everyone how you found out that you won.
I didn't actually make it to the conference. I was in Oklahoma at Cimarron Trailers and Kansas. I was actually in Kansas the day of the announcement, eating lunch with Corey. And so Todd, you did a Zoom meeting, a video meeting, so I could hop in and listen and watch to the announcement live, and that was really cool. So I thank you for that. I don't do a super good job being the center of attention, so I'm glad I wasn't there, honestly. I sort of knew from the way it was being described, like, hey, this person does all these X, Y, and Z things, that it was me. And even remote got kind of embarrassed just from getting talked up. So, but yeah, it was really cool to see and hear everyone there, and that's a cool thing.
And when they announced your name, they knew that I was on a Zoom call with you, so they knew you were watching. And I think they even said, "We understand that Shawn is working today. He's helping to onboard a new employee in Oklahoma. But Shawn, congratulations!" And everybody applauded. And I took the camera and I panned around the room, and there was about 200 people there. So it was pretty exciting. They were all pretty happy for you.
Yeah, it's interesting. It must do some sound cancellation. So the applause was the quietest part, but I could see everyone clapping.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think it mutes it when it gets so loud like that. But so, I mean, what is that? How did you react? Or, like, how did you tell your family and friends, and how did they react?
So, I mean, we posted it on the Facebook and an email. I think with the write up that you had submitted or similar, and so I shared that with my family, and obviously they shared it everywhere that they could, and they're super proud of me, and then like to brag about me. But
as they should.
Yeah, no, and I've gotten people asking about Foliance and what that means because of it, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because it's a little different. It's not like Foliance Employee of the Year. That it's from the ESOP Association, so that kind of leads into talking about ESOP with people that don't know about it.
Yeah, exactly. So I want to tell everybody what this means now. There's 19 different chapters across the country. All states are involved. and each chapter selects their employee owner of the year. And now all of those 19 chapters submit their single employee owner of the year to the National Association. And in May, the National Association will announce the winner of the employee owner of the year for the national conference. I mean, that there's one winner in the country, and there's over 11 million employees. So it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, no, we're going to that conference, you and I,
Yeah,
so
we have to
that'll
be there.
be exciting. I know we're also doing the advocacy day, which I know you have done previously, but that sounds like a really awesome thing that I'm excited to learn about and do, where
Yeah,
we talk to representatives on Capitol Hill about topics that are useful and good for ESOPs.
yeah, exactly. We'll go through a 1 day training where they'll teach us all the points that we want to make when we go to Capitol Hill. They'll give us handouts, what they call leave behinds. It's a usually like a folder that's got a few of our asks in it, and you get to meet with Chuck Grassley and Joni Ernst, and everybody who's there. Ashley Hinson we met with last year, and um, yeah, I can't remember exactly the total number, but it's a bunch. We go to see at least 8 different representatives there. It's fantastic.
Sounds crazy.
Yeah, it's you're gonna enjoy it, I think. So I know before you came to work for Folians, well, you worked for the Gazette first, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Did you work at a non-employee owned company?
yeah, I did. It was actually a sort of a family owned MSP type business before I came to the Gazette in 2010.
Gotcha. And what do you see differences between working for a family owned company and working for an employee owned company? What do you see in whether it's culture or the way we work? Um,
The ownership piece of it is really important, I think, and something that's very different. You kind of know that while you might have a manager, obviously you have managers and supervisors, but at the end of the day, the financial well-being of the company benefits you and everyone. And so I think that really changes how you see things and how you act on a day-to-day basis, how you're willing to make suggestions that normally you probably wouldn't care to share, or you wouldn't get listened to. But I think the fact that Foliance is an employee-owned company changes that quite a bit, and at least it does for me.
mhm. Yeah. So I personally have noticed your growth in your engagement with, as far as employee ownership goes, especially over the last 5 or 6 years. Do you remember like a particular moment when things started to click for you, or what was it all of a sudden that I just saw this extra spark in you about really engaging in employee ownership and understanding and contributing? And
So when I started, I worked as help desk for the Gazette, and that was before we had transitioned to a fully employee owned. And so I think similar to stories you've told, where you get the sheet and don't really know what it means. And it was also I was super young and didn't know really like what was a retirement, like what do I need to know about that. So I think part of it's that, where as I grow and try to plan for retirement and plan for financial things, that getting those statements and seeing um my retirement grow is exciting, and just the understanding of the better the company does, the more people are educated, the better I'm going to do.
yeah, yeah, for
And
sure.
I don't know that there was a certain moment. I know for sure since we've like officially when Foliance was started and spun off as its own company, that I think that made me feel like we were taking it a lot more seriously. Like it was real. This is a real thing, and makes me feel a little bit more like an employee owner when it's not like a unofficial like department of another company.
Yeah. And does that change the way you approach work on a daily basis?
Yeah, I think it does, and I've talked about uh, being willing to make changes and even paying attention to how the other companies are doing, how the different business units spend their money, what projects are being worked on. Because, like I said, at the end of the day, when the companies do well, everyone does well.
Mhm.
It's not like a family or investors that are making profit when everyone does a good job. So I think it makes me personally want to do a better job and control rework or control expenses or whatever that is just kind of lost time, but also just encouraging everyone else to do the same because they're sort of working for me,
Right.
like yeah, and I'm working for them.
And through the ESOP communication team, you joined that just 2 years ago, I think it was now, a little over 2 years.
Yep.
Um,
So
our goal is to help educate employees so that they understand what employee ownership means and how it's going to help them in the future. Have you ever had like kind of an aha moment where you're helping someone and all of a sudden you see they got it, like they understand it?
the I think the most obvious examples of that are people that don't even work at Foliance. It's people like family members or friends that you say it's an employee owned company, but then when you actually get into like the details of what an ESOP does and the kind of the investment that the company is making in you, that they think is really cool and can understand why I've been here so long, probably.
Yeah, that's what I find too when I'm just talking to friends. When we're out, if someone has just met me and they say, "Where do you work?" and I start explaining that I work for an employee-owned company, an ESOP, and I start explaining what that is, you just kind of see their eyes open up and go, "That's pretty cool! Like, that's pretty neat. I've never heard of that before. And what a great way to work, and what a great culture that must have when you're working together for that common goal like that." Yeah, I love that too. So you talked just a little bit about advocacy that we're going to do that. Do you see, are there other ways that we can advocate, within our company or outside the walls? Or
Yeah, for sure. I think communication is a never ending job. From being in IT, I know that, but also from the communication team, the ESOP side of it, just you have to keep people educated and re-educated and like you have to keep reminding people, but also I think the hard part is not everyone wants to communicate the same way, so you
Mhm.
can't just expect one thing to catch everybody. um, we have a lot of manufacturing employees, Cimarron and Lifeline especially, and I think it's hard to get some of them um, in the same communication lines as everyone else because they don't touch a computer at work and maybe not even at home, and so trying to figure out ways to engage them and get information in front of them, I think is a challenge and something that we need to look for
Yeah.
ways to solve. Yeah.
What are the ways that we currently do that for those
Well,
employees that don't have computers? And
yeah. So I know we actually print out some of the newsletter type stuff, and we send text messages. Everyone has a phone, at least, and we also have digital signage that some information is out in the production floor or in the break rooms. And I think we also have kind of like ESOP ambassadors that are at those local business units or in the departments that kind of not speak for us, but they help share the information about different ESOP facts or what's coming up, stuff like that.
yeah, yeah. And if you could implement like one new thing, new idea to help strengthen employee ownership culture, at any of our companies, what might that be?
I I would like to say a central communication tool I think that's an easy thing to say that we want to do. It's another thing that make people actually use it. Because some people, I don't think there's very many, but some people don't even have smartphones, and so that wouldn't even catch them. So, but yeah, if I could just snap my fingers and doesn't matter what the price tag is, I would say some sort of corporate centralized communication platform.
Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder what the percentage of people that don't have smartphones is. I'd kind of like to know.
Yeah, I can't imagine it's very many, but I think there definitely are some.
There's definitely
Which
some. I ran into a guy
it's fine. Yeah.
at Lowe's the other day that whipped out his flip phone because they were trying to explain to him that you could change the light settings, the color of the bulbs. They're smart bulbs, and you just do it on your phone. He went into his pocket of his overalls, front pocket, pulled out his flip phone, opened it up. I just cracked up. I was standing right next to the guy. I said, "Boy, there's an antique." And he said, "Are you talking about me or my phone?" Oh boy. So, if someone wants to get more involved in their company with the ESOP communication team, or just feel like they're making a difference or contributing, to the culture of employee ownership, where should they start? What should they do?
Yeah, I thought about this question. I think if someone wants to get involved, they could obviously join. If a company has a communication team, they could ask about joining that. But even just if you learn more about ESOP and what that means, and then share it with your coworkers, you're doing our job for us basically. And I think that's great. And beyond that, whatever ideas you have, if you want to organize something for ESOP, or even just to get together and share some ESOP knowledge there, like reach out to someone, reach out to your manager, reach out to someone on the communication team. You just got to ask. And that's kind of our license to act we have as Folians employees.
Yeah.
Um, encourages that. If you have an idea, just ask. You could always be told no, but if you never ask, you can never be told yes.
Great point. Yeah. So, outside of your daily work, tell us about hobbies or things you do for fun, your family. Uh, you know, what what are you into outside of work?
You can probably hear them or have heard them in the background a little bit, but uh, I have three girls. My wife and I have three girls, and they're all very busy and active in gymnastics or sports or whatever, just being kids. I also have we have two dogs, and so you might have heard them barking around in the background. um, but beyond that, I have a lot of hobbies. Then they're all nerdy. Uh,
That's okay. We like nerdy.
so I have any kind of game. I play video games, board games, role playing games. I like to read, usually fantasy or science fiction. Um, yeah, those take up a lot of time.
Yeah.
If
Well,
with the little time that I have.
the little extra, right? The little
Yeah.
extra time. Yeah. Well, you certainly have been a champion for getting the IT team together for various games. It's been, well, you've done it several times. You've had the hot wings. You've kind of duplicated what they do on the. Is it called hot wings? Am I saying the right thing?
Hot
Hot ones.
ones.
Hot ones.
Yeah.
Where you've brought in chicken wings. With all different levels of hot sauce, starting with kind of a mild sauce, going up to the 5 alarm fire sauce, and everybody takes a bite of their wing, and then you ask them questions, and that's been a whole lot of fun. But um, I mean, you always come up with various games that we can play as a department when we get together, or even in our like shared services meetings. Once in a while, we'll get together at the holidays and play some games. And, yeah, you're quite good at that.
Yeah, thanks. I enjoy it. So I figure if I don't do it, it might not get done. And so why not just plan some stuff, and if people want to come, great. If they don't, that's fine. And uh similar to getting involved in ESOP, really, or communication. Just if you want to do something, just try it.
Yeah. Well, it certainly helps everyone to bond together, and you've done a great job with that, like getting us together to do some of those kind of fun things together and bonding and, having some food and, just celebrating employee ownership. And yeah, we really appreciate that because, um, if you don't, if someone doesn't step up and do that, initiate those things, it just doesn't happen. You've organized trips to go see the Cedar Rapids Colonels baseball team, minor league baseball team. I think as a department, as an IT department, we went to, it's not Top Golf, but it's Pin Seekers,
Yep.
like a golf outing type thing like that. And yeah, a whole
Yeah, and
number
we've
of
done
things.
plenty of nerdy things in IT, especially like LAN parties with bringing in a bunch of laptops and play old computer games and board games. Yearly, it seems like shared services. We've done a bag tournament, cornhole,
Oh, yeah.
which everyone always enjoys, and we just do a potluck. Everyone just brings something to share, and super low effort, but a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Great ideas for, anyone in our company if they'd like to do that with their departments. It's easy to put together a quick potluck. Everybody brings something and meet somewhere. We've been meeting at a park that has a nice shelter and a patio, and that's where we bring some sets of bags and play some cornhole. And yeah, that's been a lot of fun. We're still looking to find a kind of a funny trophy, an old trophy at some pawn shop that we can
Yeah,
decorate and
yeah,
use
we're gonna
that.
have to do that for this year for sure.
Yeah, I think we need to start looking now because I've looked and they're hard to find. Garage sales might be a better shot. Shawn, is there anything else before we sign off that we haven't talked about, or something you'd like to mention? Um,
No, I think in general, the reason I'm doing the podcast or anything, I'm not really. I said I don't like to be in the center of attention. I'm not a public speaker by any means, but I just think you have to make yourself uncomfortable, as just kind of a general rule to grow as a person, um, whether in your personal life or professionally. Just force yourself to be uncomfortable, and then you'll learn to keep going.
yeah. So, how did you get the idea for the podcast? Because Paul and I tried doing a podcast, it's been 12, 15 years ago, I'll bet. And we did it for a short while. We maybe did 5 or 6 episodes, maybe 10. But how did you get the idea? What started this?
So it was actually the conference that I attended before I joined the communication team. Razor Holdings had
Oh, like a session?
a session, yeah, about doing a podcast, and I think it was Emily
Yep.
Birds.
Now she's married, Emily Coates. Yep.
Okay, yeah, so she did one just saying like, hey, it doesn't take a lot. You just need a microphone and a camera, and just talk to people. The the way that I have formatted this is really just informal, one on one, just chat with someone about who they are and what they do. I think it's super comes super naturally, and it's just at the end of the day, it's just talking. I
Yeah.
can talk to one person for a while.
Yeah. Well, I think it's great, and honestly, I think if people would like to hear you interview someone, or hear somebody talk with you, how can they get a hold of you? How can they, or send in their own name? Maybe they want to sit down and talk to you. How can they initiate that?
If people want to be on for sure, reach out to me. You can email me at ESOPOD@Foliance.com or Shawn@Foliance.com or call me, whatever.
Hmm.
Yeah, I've been just reaching out to groups of people like, hey, do you want to be on this? And so a lot of times I don't hear back or say, obviously everyone's busy, so I understand taking some time out is hard sometimes, but or people don't want to be on camera or whatever reason. I totally get that, especially because I don't especially like it. But um, yeah, if you have 20-30 minutes and you wanna talk, hit me up for sure.
Yeah, I know that recently you did an interview when you were down at Cimarron in Oklahoma. Excuse me, with the folks that run the robot welder. I think, and that's going to come out soon, or maybe it's already come out based on this episode. But I think it would also be interesting for all of our employees to see the robotic sander running up at Lifeline in Sumner. Uh, they don't have to manually sand those the ambulance boxes like they used to. They save a lot of time with a new robotic sander. It'd be neat to see that running and just kind of show everybody what that's doing.
Yep, that's on my list for sure. I would also, kind of similar to that, would like to reach some of those people that don't have a computer or don't have access to a microphone, camera, and just like wander around the shop and
Yeah.
interview people briefly. I don't know if that's what people would like to do, or obviously some people might not want to do that, but that's an idea I had for sure, and I think it would help people feel more connected and part of the greater Foliance family.
Yeah, for sure. Well, again, if anyone has any ideas for Shawn, if you'd like to see someone interviewed, or if you'd like to be interviewed yourself, it's not hard. You just turn on your camera, and I've got headphones on, but you don't have to. It's pretty simple. Just a conversation, right?
Yep.
Well, thanks so much, Shawn. I know this is your show, but I'll sign off. Thank you for letting us reverse the tables on you today and learning a little more about you. And congratulations again on your employee owner of the year award from the Iowa Nebraska chapter. And good luck at the national level. We'll be crossing our fingers for you in May, and we'll be there in person. And I'll turn on the video camera when they make the announcement. How about that?
Yeah, great. Thank you, Todd.
Take care.
Thanks for listening to ESOPOD. If you want to get in touch, send me an email at esopod@foliance.com.